Ripple and XRP, two of my favorite subjects so far, really for the last year or so since the SEC dropped this lawsuit on Ripple claiming that they were selling XRP as a unregistered security and naming XRP even sold in the secondary markets today are unregistered securities, which is completely ridiculous, but that's the SEC for you. I want to go in this video and just kind of go back and go over the Ethereum Free Pass speech, which I mentioned in previous videos. I'll put the link up here somewhere where you guys can find that video. This was an article written back in 2021, less than a year ago, by John Deaton. John Deaton is an attorney. He represents currently 67,800 XRP holders. That is enormous. Now, he has put himself as kind of a friend to the court, and I can't name all the legal jargon because I'm not a lawyer, but basically put himself in this lawsuit as a friend to the court. He's not in the lawsuit. He's not named in there, and he's not really, doesn't really have any direct impact. So he can provide information to the court with this ongoing lawsuit and help XRP and Ripple. So this is where we find ourselves, 2021. He wrote this. Everything in here is verifiable. These are not just claims. This stuff is all fact. You can check it out yourself if you like. I'm just going to go through it so that you can have an understanding of what went on in the beginning and all of the conflicts of interest that the SEC has and had back then, and why it needs to be investigated and why this is important and why Ripple needs to win this case and absolutely crush the SEC. They need to change the way they do things. There needs to be some oversight. It's insane how overtly corrupt this is, and it happens every day in our government and government agencies, and apparently we just allow it. Here we go. Let's get into this one. Hello, everyone. My name is Sean. I'm the Crypto Smith. I am the Crypto Smith. Welcome back to the channel. I'd appreciate it if you guys give me a like and subscribe if you like this content. That really helps me grow my channel, and for that, I appreciate you. Right into Ripple and the SEC. We're going to outline the key players. Jay Clayton, William Hinman or Bill Hinman, Ethereum, obviously. This has something to do with it, even though this isn't about XRP versus Ethereum or Ripple versus Ethereum. This is just going to give you a backstory of why Ethereum is important in this case. Consensus, which is a for-profit consulting firm promoting Ethereum and Ethereum only. So, and Consensus is a client of Sullivan Cromwell, which is Jay Clayton. He's a longtime partner. So Jay Clayton, longtime partner at the firm Sullivan and Cromwell. He co-engineered Alibaba, right? The IPO that let Alibaba go public. Alibaba owns Alipay. This is important because Alipay was going to be a direct competitor to XRP, cross-border remittances, which is Ripple's and XRP's primary use case at this point. So he was dubbed the most conflicted SEC chairman in history, basically saying he has so many conflicts of interest that it was going to be difficult for him to do his job. Now, William Hinman, longtime partner of Simpson Thacher Bartlett. So going forward, just Simpson Thacher. He also co-engineered the Alibaba IPO with Jay Clayton. So obviously these guys are friends. Hinman retired from Simpson Thacher to join the SEC as Clayton's director of corporate finance. So Jay Clayton was one of the directors, and Bill Hinman was the director of corporate finance. An early investor in Ethereum was Joe Lubin. Joe Lubin founded Consensus, which is a for-profit company that promotes building blockchain solutions on the Ethereum network and only on the Ethereum network. Now, he got 9.5% of the Ethereum ICO, which is crazy, which is a ton of money today. Just for reference, it's showing you here $10,000 investment in the ICO. If you held it till today, and this was as of 2021, so whatever the price was $120 million. I guarantee he got a lot more than this. He's sitting pretty fat right now with Ethereum and making him one of the largest holders of Ethereum out there. I'm going to tell you that Ethereum isn't as decentralized as they'd like you to believe because there are just a handful of holders that hold the majority of the Ethereum out there. Consensus is a client of Sullivan Cromwell, as we said. Everything about this case revolves around the Bill Hinman Free Pass speech. Now, you would think like an SEC versus Ripple, that they would really be going after the meat and bones of this case and trying to prove that Ripple sold XRP as an unregistered security, and kind of the case should be revolving around those issues and facts and circumstances and trying to prove all of that. But really, most of this case has been around the Ethereum Free Pass speech and Bill Hinman's emails at the SEC when he was forming this Free Pass speech. So before this Free Pass speech and leading up to it, Hinman did a deposition, which taken by Ripple's legal team, that he directed his staff to set up a meeting with Lubin and Consensus in 2017. Consensus came in primarily to convince the SEC or Hinman to give Ethereum a free pass, right? They wanted to be the ones out there that had the only clarity in the market, and to try to get them to view everything else as a security, therefore hindering any competition that was going to be there for Ethereum, right? Ethereum in the beginning was, they also stated that they were wanting to be part of this cross-border payment system and work on a project or something like that, which they really haven't done, and that kind of went by the wayside. So it goes on to say, we know that Lubin and Consensus met with the SEC at least 3 more times before the speech, where they're all basically getting the SEC to declare Ethereum a non-security, right? Just a commodity or a currency. So Consensus at the time has been battling to gain market share of the cross-border payment market, which that was XRP's primary use. So we know that they were competitors, and we know that the SEC was actively trying to push down XRP and build up Ethereum for their own gain. Goes on to say here that the future SEC chairman, which Gary Gensler, he is now, told an MIT audience that he didn't see enough regulatory clarity in the market for digital assets, and even mentioned Ripple by name, said they didn't have clarity also. So contradicting himself, of course, which basically makes him a liar right now. So I've already went over what the Ripple lawsuit was about. And the lawsuit came about when Jay Clayton's last full day at the SEC in 2020, he voted to sue Ripple. We find that a bit curious, the timing, even though it was a conflict of interest because Ripple is a competitor of Ethereum in which his law firm had as a client. So there's a clear conflict of interest. Anyway, he went on to do that. Not even all of the heads of the SEC got to vote. There were still a couple that weren't around then, so they didn't even get a vote. He was actually the deciding vote on this one. Ripple's legal team went on to challenge the contradiction between Bill Hinman's speech and the SEC actions, what they were actually doing. The SEC started to distance himself from that speech, and at some point just claimed that, it was just his own personal opinion. Even he signed an affidavit that said, this is my own personal opinion, and it wasn't SEC guidance. So they thought that was settled at that point. The judge in the case even went so far as to declare, she made a ruling that stated that the speech that Bill Hinman gave was his personal opinion, right? So this is supposed to be settled at this point. There shouldn't be any more questions regarding this. This is all based around the 68 emails that are floating around out there that they determined Ethereum to be a non-security and XRP to be a security. So that's why they're trying to get their hands on these emails. And at every turn, the judge says, you got to hand over the emails to the Ripple team. The SEC comes back and says, no, we can't do that. Well, because it's his personal opinion, so it's really not relevant. After some weeks of deliberation go on, the judge come back and said, well, I don't really care about that. You still have to hand them over. And then the SEC turns around, and this was rather funny at the time, said, well, it wasn't really Bill Hinman's personal opinion. It really was the opinion of the department that he ran, which was the Department of Corporate Finance. So it was kind of their opinion and maybe their guidance, but not really guidance of the SEC, which makes no sense at all because he represents the SEC. He's a department head in the SEC, therefore he is the SEC. It can be any one of the department heads. They're giving SEC guidance when they speak in public, and they use the term we when he says we don't think Ethereum is a security, going forward from this point. So the judge then says, okay, don't care. You still have to hand over the emails. And then this very last time, they came around and said, well, we can't hand over the emails because of attorney-client privilege. Everybody in the legal area who was following this case was just shocked that they would try to use this excuse, and which is not an excuse at all, or not even a valid reason. Judge Netberg finally called the two sides together, said, hey, we're going to get together. I want to see both of the teams here, and we're going to ask some questions to try to figure this out. So, right, so they can get through this. This whole not wanting to show these emails is taking most of the time here, and it's ridiculous. They have this meeting. This was last week. The SEC apparently just threw a brand new attorney into that meeting because they knew that she was going to get ripped apart. Now, the judge really wasn't having any of this keep changing their minds and was it his opinion or not his opinion, right? Now, remember, she already declared in court that this is going to be his personal opinion going forward. It was settled matter. They've changed their mind multiple times. Unfortunately, this new attorney, and I felt really bad for her, she was stammering and stumbling. She really didn't have any idea what she was doing. And the judge was asking her, can you please explain like what kind of legal guidance was given to a current member of the SEC from SEC attorneys? And that really doesn't even make up for legal guidance in the legal sense of it. And she couldn't answer that. And then at the very end, basically, she ended up saying that this speech was legal guidance, right? Which was possibly the worst thing she could have ever said. But she said it, it's out there. The judge at that point said, okay, I guess I really don't need anything else. And then they wrapped it up. It was really, really bad. It was horrible for the SEC. I felt horrible for the new attorney. She's probably going to get fired, but it's good for Ripple and XRP. So I guess ultimately I'll be happy about that. So this is kind of where we're at today. And I want to go back and I want to take a second and explain also during Bill Hinman's term at the SEC, while he was a partner at Simpson Thacher, the SEC's ethics committee warned him on multiple occasions to stop going to Simpson Thacher. You need to stop. It looks really bad. We know there's a conflict there. So we need you to stop going and meeting with them just because of the optics of it. Ultimately, he ended up going and meeting with them several times after that, even though they warned him against it. So apparently nothing was done at that point. There wasn't anything written up. There was no punitive action towards him. And this is what I was talking about in the beginning, that there needs to be changes here in these government offices. We trust them, right? The SEC is supposed to be there to help investors stay safe, right? But what do? They fill their own pockets. They don't care about any investors. They care about their own power. There's a fight right now between the CFTC and the SEC trying to figure out who's going to get to control the crypto markets and the crypto companies out there and who gets control over them, right? And it doesn't need to be a fight. It needs to be very clear. There should be laws already written. Crypto's been around for more than a decade. XRP's been around for almost a decade. Where are the rules at, right? Where are the laws? Where's the clear guidance that gives the market the ideas of where they fit, and how they can fit themselves into the legal framework of starting a crypto company and offering securities or non-securities and how that's supposed to work. There is literally nothing out there. That's where we're at in the lawsuit right now. Going forward, I'm only going to be doing updates on what's currently happening in the lawsuit and how this thing's moving forward. Next, we do hope to hear from Judge Netburn in the next week or two about her ruling on whether these emails need to be turned over to the Ripple's legal team and get past the legal guidance excuse. They're going to be told at some point here in the near future that you have to give up those emails. Like, that's the end of it. I don't know what the judge says, like, this is my final warning. We're going to hold you in contempt if you don't show these emails to the defense, which they should have done months ago. I believe everybody at this point really believes there is something that is so damning to the SEC that they will not ever release those emails, that they're going to settle before that happens, which is going to only make them look bad. Now, I did hear at this latest consensus meeting they had down in Texas, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, was speaking. He did mention they've spent already over $100 million on this lawsuit. And in the beginning, I told you that was basically his, FU to the SEC. Most cases are bullied into settling. He wasn't going to do that. He's fighting for the entire crypto market with this lawsuit. It's going to be shown that this was a punitive lawsuit to XRP because it's a competitor of Ethereum, and all these people have their hands in the pockets of Ethereum. And that's going to wrap it up for me here. I know this is a lot of information, but if you just take little bits and pieces of it, you can really see how the SEC is completely conflicted in this entire situation. and how wrong it is for them to try to hold Ripple back. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it wasn't too much for you. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. You guys have a great night.